quite emotionally. I've now watched every single Doris Day film, and on the one hand, that breaks my heart. On the other, I can reflect on what has been an absolutely incredible journey with some very amazing films. The last one was Where Were You When the Lights Went Out, which is a 1968 film directed by Hy Averback and written by Everett Freeman and Carl Thunberg. It is apparently based on a play by Claude Mongier. I haven't seen the play, I'd never heard of it. If you have seen it and know how it compares, please let me know. I'd be really interested to find out if there are any significant differences. But the film itself, I absolutely loved. And it's hard for me to explain certain aspects that I loved without giving away too much, so I'll try my best to discuss this without any spoilers. But if at any point you want to discuss it in more detail, feel free to drop me a message. It's such a fabulous film, and I'm so thrilled that the last of her films I had to watch was this good. So, this is set during a blackout in New York City. And the description from IMDb is very vague, and this just says, a New York executive crosses paths with a Broadway actress and her husband. So, our Broadway actress is Margaret Garrison, played by Doris Day. She's very likeable, she's fabulous. None of this is set on the stage. So, although our protagonist is a Broadway actor, it's not actually about the theatre at all, mainly because there's a blackout and that wouldn't be possible. But she finds out something about her husband that she doesn't like, so she decides to take herself off to another one of their properties. And while she's there, a mysterious man comes into her life, and she has drunk quite a lot of sleeping medication, and then he accidentally does the same thing. And neither of them really knows that the other person's there. And then her husband gets wind of this somehow, and it's almost farcical in the way that it works, because the audience knows an awful lot more than any of the characters do, and it just becomes ridiculous the way things keep going round and round in circles, but in such an exciting way. And I don't really want to say any more than that. But put it this way, one character thinks something about the other two characters, the other characters think something about the other two, and so on. They keep asking the same questions. Nobody has any answers, but of course the audience knows, and it's brilliant. It's good fun. Doris Day repeats the same sentence about 25 times. Oh, Peter, you're here. Or, hi, Peter, you're here. And just the more she says it got to the point where I laughed out loud at this. And I'm not the kind of person who laughs out loud at something when I'm sitting watching something at home on my own, unless it really gets to me. And this did. And her performance was absolutely brilliant. Everybody gave a brilliant performance. Robert Morse as Waldo Zane was a very sleazy character, very sly and not very trustworthy, but a lot of fun. Patrick O'Neill played Margaret's husband, Peter Garrison. I loved his character, or at least I loved his actions, and I loved the way he just flew off the handle a lot. It was very entertaining, but as a character and his behaviours, I didn't like that, but I kind of loved to hate it. The whole thing with selling the car, and I won't go into any detail about that, but there was a sale of a car, and once I realised what happened, I just thought, this is setting up the tone for the rest of the film. It's going to be ludicrous, and it absolutely was. It's good fun. Really loved Doris Day's performance. One of my favourite things in this, apart from when she kept repeating, "Oh, Peter, you're here," is when, how do I say this without spoiling anything? Look out for the moment where somebody tells her that they know something about her that they shouldn't know. And this realization sets in, and her face is amazing. You will know exactly which scene I mean when you see it. I believe it's set in the kitchen. It's absolutely beautiful. She's just fabulous. Although this is not my favourite Doris Day film, because there are some very strong contenders, this is also a strong contender, and I'd say it's in the top 10. she's absolutely fantastic. It's a beautiful film, absolutely, hilarious. Really thoroughly enjoyed it from start to finish. If you are on a Doris Day journey, which I hope you are, I've had a lot of fun over the last year and a half watching all of her films. This is one that I'd say, either prioritize it or, maybe consider leaving it until the end. It's a pretty powerful to end on. It is her penultimate film as well. The last one she ever did was with Six You Get Egg Roll, but this is the penultimate one. Start to finish, Where Were You When the Lights Went Out is absolutely splendid, and I wouldn't change a thing about it.